Мен бірінші бастап потом Все, да, гости собрались, уважаемые коллеги, әріптестер, барлық қонақтарымыз жиналды ма? Рұқсат болса, бастайық, иә? Аха, все. Құрметті қонақтар, құрметті әріптестер, Евразияның сәулет құрылыс және дизайн мектептерінің көптен күттірген 11-ші халықаралық фестиваліне қош келдіңіздер. Уважаемые гости, мы рады приветствовать вас на долгожданном 11-м международном фестивале архитектурно-строительно-дизайнерских школ Евразии. Как вы знаете, данный фестиваль мы планировали давно, но с учетом карантина, реконструкции, оно не представлялось возможным. Вот сегодня такой замечательный день, мы всех рады поприветствовать, особенно наших гостей с ближнего и дальнего зарубежья, наших уважаемых гостей с наших вузов-партнеров, наших уважаемых партнеров с производства. Торжественно открыть наш 11-й международный фестиваль слово предоставляется доктору технических наук, профессору, ректору Международной образовательной корпорации Имандосовой Маргарите Булатовне.
Құрметті қонақтар, құрметті әріптестер, біріншіден барлықтарыңызға бүгін біздің халықаралық білім беру корпорациясына келгендеріңізге алғыс айтамын. Жаңа айтып кеткендей, бүгін біз үлкен бастаманы кезінде болған біздің осы оқу орнында басталған фестивальді қайтадан осы өзіміздің қабырғамызда өткізейік деп отырмыз. Как сегодня было сказано, Международная образовательная корпорация, она основана на базе Казахской головной архитектурно-строительной академии, известной нам всем под брендом KazGASA. Поэтому те традиции, которые были заложены в KazGASA, нынешняя Международная образовательная корпорация продолжает и приумножает. Дело в том, что еще одним из, будем говорить, в свое время KazGASA своей целью ставила задачу быть площадкой для обмена опытом, для сотрудничества с нашими партнерами в разных странах, в разных вузах, чтобы наши студенты могли увидеть работы не только свои, но и своих сокурсников, будем говорить, да, своих, будем говорить, таких же выпускников других вузов мира. И эта идея, чтобы KazGASA была именно той площадкой, была заложена в свое время основателем нашего вуза Кусаиновым Амирланом Айдарбековичем. И еще в 2009 году по инициативе KazGASA впервые был проведен фестиваль архитектурно-строительных и дизайнерских школ Евразии. И тогда было принято решение, чтобы этот фестиваль был ежегодным. И официально первый фестиваль был проведено, инициировано, как я сказала, президентом в то время Казахской головной архитектурно-строительной академии Кусаиновым Амирланом Айдарбековичем и генеральным секретарем Турксой профессором Касеиновым Дюсеном Курабаевичем. Мы считаем своим долгом продолжать эту традицию и считаем, что это действительно нужная вещь. Сегодня международный фестиваль, он собирает все большее количество участников. Сегодня, по сравнению с 2009 даже годом, вы знаете, как быстро развивается наука, как быстро развивается, вообще все быстро идет. Поэтому наши выпускники должны всегда идти в ногу. Наш преподавательский состав должен идти в ногу и еще идти вперед, впереди даже быть. Поэтому те задачи, которые мы ставим перед собой, они очень важные для подрастающего поколения. Вы сегодня во время нашей экскурсии, наверное, увидели, какую задачу, какую цель ставим мы как вуз перед собой. Поэтому вот именно участие в сегодняшнем фестивале, то, что сегодня я вот хочу отдельно поблагодарить всех наших гостей из стран ближнего и дальнего зарубежья, что несмотря на то, что мы все заняты, нашли время, и сегодня вы здесь. И я очень надеюсь, что сегодня за эти 2 дня пребывания у нас произойдет такой обмен опытом, проведутся мастер-классы, поделимся теми достижениями, которые у нас есть. Это самая та дружественная, будем говорить, площадка, когда можно пообщаться и пообсуждать насущные, очень важные для нашей отрасли вопросы. За годы нашего фестиваля я просмотрела статистику, и на сегодняшний день получается, что на смотр-конкурс выпускных работ, лучших выпускных работ, было представлено 3093 лучших выпускных работ по направлениям архитектура, дизайн, строительство, производство строительных материалов, изделий и конструкций, технологии деревообработки материалов, изделий и конструкций. И причем количество стран 18 из 80 высших учебных заведений этих стран. То есть я считаю, что это немало, и это радует, но я думаю, что теперь, начиная с этого года, эта цифра будет увеличиваться. Сам фестиваль за эти годы зарекомендовал себя основой, где, как я уже не раз повторяюсь, будут выставлены лучшие работы, лучшие результаты наших выпускников, где они могут все это увидеть, сравнить. И уверена, что нынешняя наша встреча, она еще больше будет доказательством того, что это направление очень верное. Я хочу отметить, что вот все, наверное, вы знаете, этот фестиваль всегда включал в своих рамках республиканский конкурс лучших выпускных работ, и результаты которых попадали уже на наш международный фестиваль. И я надеюсь, что мы сегодня, завтра с вами за время работы фестиваля увидим эти работы нашим. Я еще раз говорю большое спасибо нашим, всем вам, нашим партнерам, которые приняли активное участие в конкурсе лучших выпускных работ. И с вами вместе мы результаты увидим завтра на закрытии нашего фестиваля. А сегодня я желаю вам всем, прежде всего, плодотворной работы, чтобы сегодняшний фестиваль послужил еще одним шагом для укрепления нашего сотрудничества в деле подготовки будущих квалифицированных, востребованных на рынке труда специалистов. Рахмет.
Көп рахмет, Маргарита Лотна. А мы продолжаем. У нас, как вы видите, сегодня такой смешанный формат. У нас есть гости из дальнего зарубежья, у нас есть гости в онлайн-формате. И приветственное слово сейчас хотел бы предоставить послу Италии в Республике Казахстан господину Марко Альберти. Yes.
And also to the academic team, which made possible this event, but which made possible the entire functioning of the university. Let me first of all send a message, to the students, if there are some students in the audience. The message is that they should be very grateful to have the opportunity to attend university today, because this opportunity regards only 32% of young people between 18 and 24 years old in the world. So you have the opportunity to attend university to build up your future. And second, you should be grateful to be able to attend such a prestigious universities belonging and participating to the festival, which represent excellence in the educational system and landscape, not only in Kazakhstan, but in Central Asia. It's a pleasure for me to participate today because Italy is a country where architecture, construction, and particularly design play a key role, not only in the traditional, in the DNA of the country, but also in the GDP of the country. The creative industry in Italy generate 98 billion per year of GDP, which is quite a relevant number. But before, before starting this event, and while Professor was talking, I was trying to think, what does prestige and excellence of a university education depend on? And I think that prestige, quality of education today does not depend only on the ability of teaching some things or to create some specialists in architecture, engineering, construction, and so on. But the quality of the education depends essentially on the capability of the university to educate leaders capable of bringing society into the future that await us. And this is why some of your universities are emphasizing the concept of build the future together. We are, in an environment of builders, architects, constructors, designers. At the end of the day, they are builders. They want to do something now for the rest of the time, forever. The concept of eternity is included into the architecture, construction, design when they are of quality. But this is the point, that creativity today is a key for success, is a key for, the possibility to build the future, because we cannot wait for the future. The society is too fast today to wait for the future to happen. We have to create it. And I was thinking that just 3 years ago, not many years, 3 years ago, we didn't talk about artificial intelligence, for example. And today it seems that nothing is possible without artificial intelligence, which is a clear example of how technology is changing our lives, but also changing our jobs and the way to educate people. So in order to build the future, we have to realize that at one point, the present moment is all we have. If we miss the present time, if we don't use the present time to build up the future will be built up by somebody else. And I think that, after all, building the future as out of the metaphor is as the same dynamics as building a skyscraper or a civil engineering work. First, you need to develop a sustainable project. Second, you need to identify the most competent people to carry it out. And third, you need to choose the best materials for the construction. So we have entered in this world, this continuous change that we are experiencing makes the university even more important. Because at the end of the day, what university should be able to transmit to the students is not only the technical notions, but also the idea that learning and studying will be forever. It's a continuous learning. It's something that they don't have to stop once they have finished the university. And let me say that when we talk about creativity, we believe that particularly in your sector, it's exactly what we are doing with the Italian university. The point is that an essential component of creativity is inspiration. But creativity is making an inspiration, transforming an inspiration into projects, and projects into reality, which is exactly what the people that you are educating will be able to do. And this is what the university, we believe, in connection with international partners, can do. We can ensure that together we remain inspired and we remain inside the same creative, innovative networks of ideas, of university, of course, of ideas and of possible projects. Why? And I conclude. Because I think that altogether, university in the world, and we have 97 agreements with Kazakh universities. Italy has 97 agreements with Kazakh university. But I think that the idea from now on is that, the university are necessary, even more necessary than in the past, to do what? To learn how to protect ourselves from disruption and to cope with new challenges, which is a key point. Second, how reimagining work, the workforce and the workers themselves. Because if you educate leaders, they will be able, to reimagine a completely different way to work. And last but not least, how to build up a thriving environment, not just building some, bridges or roads or creating some new objects, but creating a thriving environment where creativity can multiply. So let me conclude congratulating you, because most of the university participating in the fest are committed not only to educate young people, but to create this generation of leaders, which is very important for as a basis for countries to cooperate. And let me conclude with a sentence by an architect, a British architect, Norman Foster, who has worked intensively in Kazakhstan and particularly in Astana. He says that when you are an architect or a designer, you design for the present with an awareness of the past and the vision of the future, which is a clear motto to make the university a real protagonist of our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your informative and affectionate, amazing, welcoming speech. Thank you very much. А мы продолжаем, уважаемые гости. У нас также сегодня присутствуют вместе с нами в пленарном заседании президиуме наши уважаемые гости с ближнего и дальнего зарубежья. Также хотел бы дать слово для приветственной речи декану факультета архитектуры, дизайна, строительства Кыргызско-Российского славянского университета имени Ельцина, доценту, кандидату архитектуры, председателю Союза архитекторов Кыргызской республики Бишенбаеву Муратбеку Ишенбековичу. Пару слов, пожалуйста.
Приветствую, можно сидя, да?
Можно сидя, да.
Да, я, наверное, отойду от официального выступления, просто как-то чисто вот твое это, да, вот. Я хочу, во-первых, поблагодарить вас, что за приглашение такое и такое прекрасное гостеприимство. Вот фестиваль вообще, сколько мы проводим, участвуем в фестивалях. Фестиваль такая площадка, которая объединяет и дает такие, которые нам не хватает, да, например, общение, развитие наших, как сказать, направлений, общение нашим студентам, развитие наших творческих направлений. Я хочу, чтобы вот фестиваль, в котором мы сейчас участвуем, дал еще толчок многим нашим коллегам, студентам, нашим творческих направлений и технических направлений, чтобы этот толчок дал развитие нашего государства, наших тоже поколений. Да, вот. Я сейчас вот сегодня была экскурсия, много чего увидели. И есть же слово, как сапожник без сапог, да? Оказывается, есть сапожник с сапогами есть. У вас такой вот момент, что создали многие моменты, как видно, что создали такие условия для студентов. Здесь грех не учиться. И я хочу пожелать, чтобы в этом университете создавались такие шедевры, проекты, технические достижения, которые будут славить ваш Казахстан. И мы тоже будем рады тесно сотрудничать с вами. И я думаю, в дальнейшем мы очень много вместе будем тоже созидать и сотрудничать. И самое главное, мне очень приятно видеть наших коллег в таком большом количестве, потому что мы все, можно так сказать, одной крови. Мы все создаем как сказать, будущее. Вот профессия архитектора, строителя, да, вот они вот такие профессии, которые создают настоящее и будущее. И для этих профессий наша профессия, вот, создаем почву, основу, даем направление. Я хочу, чтобы у вас были студенты, которые вы гордились, чтобы вас ценили, вас поднимали. Вот университет, я сегодня как увидел, очень многопрофильное. Очень тяжело, конечно. Я хочу пожелать вам всем, чтобы все вот эти направления достигали своих целей. Спасибо.
Көп рахмет, Маратбек Ишамбекович. Очень правильно отметили, что мы обучаем тех, кто строит будущее на самом деле. И будем в дальнейшем плодотворно сотрудничать, очень надеюсь. Уважаемые гости, мы продолжаем. Следующее приветственное слово предоставляется PhD, профессору факультета автомобильных дорог и мостов Жевского политехнического университета из Польши, господину Барташу Пьентеку.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me first?
Yeah, thank you. We all hear you. Please.
Great. So, dear colleagues, dear friends, with a great excitement and joy, I am joining you at this wonderful event, the 11th International Festival of Architecture, Construction and Design Schools of Eurasia. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the chairman of the supervisory board of the International Education Corporation, KazGASA Amirlanovich Husainov, and director of the International Educational Corporation, Margarita Bulatovna Imandozova, along with the faculty on the renovation of the entire campus of the Kazakh Leading Architectural and Construction Academy. The scale of the work carried out is truly impressive. I am very happy for the collective and students of the Kazakh Leading Architectural and Construction Academy. Actually, architectural and construction education plays a key role in shaping the modern face of cities and social infrastructure. Its importance is hard to overestimate as it covers a wide range of knowledge and skills necessary for design, construction, and development of our environment. Architectural and construction education provides professional training for specialists capable of creating functional, sustainable, and beautiful architectural objects. They take into account both technical and engineering aspects, as well as aesthetic and social cultural needs of society. Architectural and construction education contributes to the innovative development of the industry by promoting research in the field of new materials, technologies, and construction methods. This allows for the creation of more efficient and sustainable structures, promoting ecological sustainability and energy efficiency in buildings. Architecture and construction education plays an important role in shaping cultural and historical heritage. It helps to preserve and restore architectural monuments of the past, as well as to create new objects reflecting modern trends and values. Architectural and construction education contributes to the development of the economy and social sphere by creating jobs and providing quality housing, educational and cultural institutions, as well as commercial and infrastructure facilities. Thus, architectural and construction education is an important foundation for the sustainable development of society and the preservation of its cultural heritage. It shapes professionals capable of addressing modern challenges and creating spaces conducive to human life and development. I'm very pleased that the Kazakh Leading Architectural and Construction Academy has been and remains a flagship of architectural and construction education, not only in Kazakhstan, but also beyond its borders. As a representative of a foreign university and an active participant in this unique event, I express my deep gratitude for the opportunity to be a part of this important cultural dialogue. From the very beginning of the initiative of the President of the International Education Corporation, Professor Agazi Amilanovich Kusainov, and the Secretary General of Turksoy, Professor Duysen Kurabayevich Kasanov. This festival became a bright example of how the combination of efforts and ideas can lead to the creation of a space for creative exchange and inspiration. Interaction between international education institutions become the key to shaping the future of architecture and design. For 15 years, the Kazakh Leading Architectural and Construction Academy has played a key role in bringing together leading specialists from Eurasia in the field of architecture, construction, and design. Over the years, the festival has visited various countries, including Turkey, Italy, Cyprus, Russia, Moldova, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan, gathering under its wing more than 3,500 projects from 121 countries, represented by more than 400 universities. This confirms the growing influence and significance of the festival in the global architectural community. Throughout the years, the festival has attracted the attention and talents of students and professors from all over the world, creating an opportunity not only to showcase their project, but also to exchange experiences, ideas, and cultural values. I'm pleased to see how it continues to evolve and expand, attracting more universities and countries. Over the years of its existence, the festival has proven its significance and importance as a place for exchanging experiences, innovations, and creative ideas, contributing to the development of the architectural education on the Eurasian continent. Allow me to express my deep gratitude to the organizers, participants, and everyone who has contributed to the creation of this unique event. Your hard work and dedication have borne fruit in the form of this festival, which serves not only as a platform for creativity, but also as a symbol of the unity and cooperation. I wish all festival participants inspiration, success, and new creative discoveries. May these days be filled with the joy of communication, important meetings, and unforgettable impressions. We see how the diversity of cultures and talents enriches our community and allows us to learn from each other. This festival is a wonderful example of how joint efforts lead to the creation of innovative and inspiring projects that shape the future of architecture, construction, and design. At the end, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to my colleague, Zhangazi Moldamuratov, Dean of the Faculty of General Construction at Taras State University, who invited me to participate in this great event. Thank you for your commitment to excellence, for your contribution of the development of architecture and construction education and culture. Let us continue to create the future together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bartosz. It's an honor for us to hear you today. Thank you for having time to with welcoming speech. Thank you very much. Уважаемые гости, мы также продолжаем нашу панельную сессию. Сегодня также хотелось бы отметить особо наших гостей онлайн, которые, несмотря на разницу в часовых поясах, сегодня с нами участвуют в нашем международном фестивале. Давайте поблагодарим наших гостей за их участие. У нас с нами сегодня также очень много гостей, наших партнеров, уважаемых друзей, не только с вузовской сферы, но и из производства. Также сейчас хотел бы предоставить слово Вальдесу Урбановичесу с приветственным словом. Пару слов, пожалуйста. Наш уважаемый гость факультета строительных технологий. Да. Пожалуйста.
Здравствуйте, уважаемые коллеги. Я представляю Каунасский институт. Каунасский институт. Как первый раз приехал, уже несколько лет назад это было, но как приехал в этот год, я сразу 100% был гарантирован, что такое между нами сотрудничество должно продолжаться. Изменилось 100%. Вся ситуация, вся база, вся. Значит, потенциал есть для научных работ. Я представляю геодезию, картографию. Это одна из самых старинных наук. Карта – это международный язык. Неважно, карта будет создана на казахском языке, на английском, на литовском языке, но по этой карте можно найти Алмату. Так вот, в этом проекте такой пилотный у нас проект. Только прислали одну работу, но, как вижу, это будет на следующий год уже не одна работа, но нескольких работ. Это обещаю, что так будет. Что волнуюсь. Я хочу пожелать, чтобы сотрудничество между нашими учреждениями не только по научной работе продолжалось, но и по педагогическим работам, обменялись опытом, как в Литве учат студентов геодезию, картографию, и все хорошее можно забирать от нас, и все хорошее будем забирать от вас. И вот я хочу этого и пожелать, чтобы сотрудничество между нами продолжалось уже дальше, и пожелать всем всего хорошего. Спасибо.
Огромное спасибо, господин Валдес. Несмотря на дальнюю дорогу, сегодня вы с нами здесь, это очень сильно радует. И передавайте большой привет университету Каунаса, всем нашим коллегам. Мы очень рады вас сегодня приветствовать. Я думаю, что наше сотрудничество будет все дальше наращиваться и не будет ограничиваться участием только в фестивале. Спасибо большое. Уважаемые коллеги, мы также продолжаем. У нас очень много гостей, очень много известных наших друзей, партнеров, профессоров. Следующее слово хотел бы предоставить Шульцу Роману Владимировичу, доктору технических наук, профессору университета нефти и полезных ископаемых имени короля Фатха, Междисциплинарный исследовательский центр авиации и космических исследований, заведующий лабораторией дистанционного зондирования и анализа Саудовской Аравии.
Well, do you hear me?
Yeah, we are hear you.
Well, sure, great. So good afternoon. Dear colleagues and participants of the 11th International Festival of Architectural, Civil Engineering and Designing Schools. Greetings from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Well, so I'll try to be concise. I don't want to waste your time too much. So I cordially appreciate the invitation to congratulate all of you on the beginning of the festival organized by the International Educational Cooperation. It's a great pleasure for me. And it's worth mentioning that today digital technologies are being intensively deployed in various branches of civil engineers, architecture, and surveying, by the way, because I'm surveying engineer. And all of these branches are, I consider, the primary topics of this event. I would especially notify that the International Educational Cooperation is one of the leading organizations in all of these fields. I would also like to emphasize that this festival plays a significant role in collaboration with enterprises and international educational, scientific, and various public organizations for their mutual benefits. These close ties make it possible to improve the quality of bachelor's, master's, and also within PhD doctoral training. So I wish all the best to all the participants and fruitful work for you. So thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much for your welcoming speech. Thank you. Уважаемые гости, также хотел бы отметить, что у нас сегодня наш фестиваль, наше пленарное заседание также идет в онлайн-формате и транслируется через официальный YouTube-канал. Так что можете поделиться коллегами из других университетов, своими коллегами, чтобы тоже послушали наши сегодняшние доклады, послушали наших уважаемых гостей. Трансляция идет в режиме реального времени, то есть здесь и сейчас. А теперь хотел бы передать слово уже нашим, да, мы можем так сказать, нашему ассоциированному профессору факультета архитектуры, кандидату архитектуры, с докладом про современную архитектуру, вызовы и новые подходы Джан Габриэлю Фини. Пожалуйста.
Thank you, Madam Rector, Mr. Provost, colleagues, and dear guests. Well, it's my honor to open a presentation with a presentation. I don't know if you can start here. But it's very interesting to me that we touched, that we started mentioning the new technologies that we have in our field from AI, but also the development of new material, more performing materials in terms of sustainability and insulating forces. Now, my presentation is about the problems in modern architecture, and we will see that the major problems still, and also the competitive edge in our profession is actually on the way of think, in the creativity and how we employ the thing. So materials and new technology can be, yes, scary, a burden, but also of our help. So first we have to fix how we think. So before starting about, well, what the problems are, we need to define, okay, what is architecture, okay? And Vitruvius came in our help more than 2,000 years ago by giving us this definition that architecture is anything that has to do with utilitas, firmitas, and venustas. Utilitas is utility, so it's function. It's an object that absolves to its function, okay? Firmitas, it is strength. We can translate it, it is stable, it is durable, it's meant to last in time. Engineering-wise. Venustas, that is beauty. Definition of beauty for Vitruvius was it is in proportion and in order with nature, but that was the context of then. If we have to further think in a more modern and contemporary way, well, we can think of firmitas as all the engineering part of a building, not only the structure, the systems, everything need to work, right? And venustas, yes, the beauty, what is beauty? It's beauty, something that is well inserted in its context. It plays with the context and it is part of the context. But okay, what is context? And now in the last century, many architectural theoreticians, especially Christian Norberg Schulz, gave us the idea of genius loci. Genius loci, it means the spirit of the place. It is, well, a mythological belief of ancient Roman times that every place has like a ghost that embodies all the characteristics of the space. In architecture, we can talk about the atmosphere of the place, or more specifically, yes, of course, geomorphology, natural and built environment, the local resources, but especially the local climate and the local identity of the place. And I put them in bold because these, we will see, are the areas where we'll still today have problems. Now, before we continue, I'll give you a short example that I took from my last year's class. I teach architectural design, and I teach my students to approach these matters about insertion in the context. So very often our projects are here in Kazakhstan. And of course, many want to take as an inspiration or relate to the yurt, which is very typical, often done too many times. So I ask them, okay, well, what can you take as a reference as a yurt? And the first answer that I get, yes, circular plan, light construction, traditional patterns on top. And I say, well, this is very superficial. It's almost banal. We've seen it many times. The real question is, what does the yurt represent? What is the essence of the yurt, right? And I ask the same question to you, maybe, well, what is the yurt? What is the essence? What is the spirit of the yurt? Mobility, nomadic life, yes, what else? That's a good one. That's a very unique one, and it's actually very correct. That's not one of the most things that I get from my students, though, but it's a very unique one. Well, the answer that I get most, and I put them here, they're tradition, mobility, nomadic lifestyle, yes, hospitality, coziness, and then also family or clan or tribe, right? And this is to say that you can take a reference, for example, the yurt, that is something circular, something light, and you can be inspired and make a project about a yurt, and it can be a square or a cube, as long as it transmits some of these qualities. So it requires a certain way to interpret the reality, go to the core, to the essence, and represent something with the same qualities. To my students, I make often a follow-up question. Okay, this is the yurt. But the follow-up question is, what is the essence of Kazakh culture then? It's well, exactly. It's basically the same. Tradition, mobility, hospitality, and family, clan, tribe, right? And food. But this is to say, and now I go back to the definition of identity that Christian Norberg Schulz gave us. Basically, yes, what we build, it's architecture, and we have to integrate it in the local identity, in the local context. And so we mold it. We mold after our own culture, but then the architecture itself helps to shape our identity in this circle, right? So now, another example about vernacular architecture. What is vernacular architecture? Vernacular architecture is architecture that is built not by professionals, not by architects, but by people for their people, through generation, through trial and error. What do they have as a characteristics? Well, first of all, the characteristic of identity. We can see these three examples that I brought, and I'm quite sure that the first two you can guess where they're from, in what region they are, right? The first one, where was the, well, Central Asia, of course. This one, maybe, I don't know, everybody, or if the second one know what it is. Middle East, Persian Empire, yes, this is the bag deer. It's a wind catcher, and now we will see. Now, the third one, probably only the Italians know, because this is also vernacular architecture. While the first two are spread through a big area in the world, the first one is actually a reality in only one small village. And it's actually the Trulli of Alberobello in Italy. I didn't even ask to guess because it's really a small village. But what do we have as a characteristic? First one, the one of identity, right? We saw it and we recognize right away where it is from. And the second, very important thing, is that they are what we would define today sustainable architecture. They all employ strategies that today we employ to be energy effectively. Now I brought just a quick, I could do it with any of these examples or any other example of any vernacular architecture. I brought here as an example the Trullo, because maybe it's the one that you are not less familiar with. But basically, if you look at it, it's built of stone. It has a high thermal mass. It accumulates the heat from the sun in winter and releases it at night. It has a water tank underground that is used with natural ventilation to suck up. It's basically, well, it's called evaporative cooling. Is a natural air conditioner. And these are the normal strategies that you would use in sustainable architecture, like orientation, carefulness in exposition of the sun, and it has it. Natural wind doesn't use so much, but if you look at the Bagdir, for example, also uses natural wind. High thermal mass to give you coolness in summer and retain heat in winter. Evaporative cooling, it's basically air conditioner. And they employ local materials, right? This is all strategies that we use nowadays in sustainability. We pick any vernacular architecture. Well, we've been doing it for millennia in any region of the world, according to the local climate. So now this is an example. Can you guess where it is from the design? Europe could be. Dubai, it's right, but we cannot see it like the other ones. They are traditional. We can identify them right away. Could be anywhere in the world. This is actually Emirate Towers in Dubai. It's quite recent, 20,000. Now, I don't want to pick on this one because it's a bad design. This type of buildings, we see them everywhere in every world, and this is where mainly the problem is. In, well, today's architecture. Not everything, but it's part of the problem. And this especially was built in Dubai. Well, okay, it failed the identity test. Let's see if it's sustainable. And actually, no, it's not. It doesn't pay particular attention, orientation, and insulation. It actually has lots of glass and takes lots of sun inside when it's a warm climate and you would want to avoid sun when possible. Well, does it use natural wind? No. High thermal mass? Definitely not. Evaporative cooling? Maybe no. Local materials? Well, maybe some, but most are imported, right? So this is, as said, it's just one example. We have it everywhere. Why? Well, because it's a long thing, but basically the core thing, the core discussion, it's reconductible to two main issues. That after the second half of the previous century, our technology and improvement in transportation and logistics made us possible for us to ignore certain aspects. And so we just did. Instead of taking the advantage of the new technologies and the new logistics in further improve this. So basically, here I brought instead, is it always that bad? Well, it's not always that bad. We have also recent attempts that try to match with our identity. For example, this is a mashribia in Cairo, the typical vernacular window spread out in Arab world. And we have here two possible interpretations, also in sustainable building by Foster and Partners, also in Abu Dhabi, the Masdar Institute, and the new Louvre by Jean Nouvel of 2017, that also takes something that is in the atmosphere that this window traditionally create, and they put it inside an environment of the Louvre. And another virtuous interpretation could be Norman Foster again, the Architecture Entertainment Center in Astana. And here I included a project of one of my students that also has been inspired by the yurt from the previous year for a museum. So to conclude, what is the problem? Well, the problem is that we have lost, or we don't take too much into consideration, or we lost to pay particular attention to the genius loci, especially in terms of identity and microclimate. So what is the solution? Well, yes, to educate and to continue educate, this is our job, that these are integral part of a good architecture per definition. And we shall use modern technology, the advancement in progress, not to work against these factors, but work it in conjunction for a better quality of architecture. That's it.
Thank you very much, Professor. As always, a perfect presentation with very good examples. Thank you very much. Также, как я уже сказал, у нас очень много гостей с ближнего, дальнего зарубежья, наших уважаемых партнеров, многолетних партнеров. Хотел бы дать приветственное слово доктору технических наук, профессору Мирахмодову Иркину Рахимжановичу. Пожалуйста.
Здравствуйте, уважаемые коллеги, участники фестиваля. Во-первых, хотел бы поблагодарить руководство образовательного учреждения, декана Ирину Анатольевну за приглашение, теплый прием. Мы это недавно подписали меморандум, соглашение о использовании геодезии, картографии, беспилотных аппаратов и ГИС в области, скажем, исследования, географии, геодезии и цифрового моделирования. Я предложил, чтобы в Алмате создали исходный пункт, алматинский исходный пункт по геодезии. Это широта, долгота. Именно здесь, если будет, это будет замечательно. Успехов вам всем за этот прием. Желаю творческих успехов.
Спасибо большое, Иркин Рахимжанович. Да, вот недавно только наши коллеги ездили в наш солнечный Узбекистан. Тут очень хорошо тоже встретили, подписали очень хорошее соглашение. И я надеюсь, что наше сотрудничество будет плодотворным. Спасибо большое за ваш приезд. И спасибо, да, давайте поблагодарим. Целая делегация у нас сегодня, коллеги, приехали. Очень отрадно их видеть сегодня. И нашу пленарную сессию последним докладом завершает Талал Авад, PhD, профессор кафедры сейсмического и технического инжиниринга Университета Дамаска, Сирии, с докладом «Анализ обрушения зданий в результате двойного разрушительного турецко-сирийского землетрясения 2023 года». Очень актуальная тема, я думаю, всем будет полезно, коллеги. Пожалуйста, профессор.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you to invite me to participate in such important festival. And also I want to say that I was in Almaty a month ago, and it was very good visit, and I have some meetings with the university professors. Let me demonstrate my
Yeah, it's good. We see your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. I will speak about the Turkey-Syria earthquakes 2023. In the first, I want to make an overview of the destructive double Turkish-Syrian earthquake. We will speak about seismological background and the processing of strong ground motions records, and about fault rupture in the first term of my presentation. More than 1 year on from the Turkey-Syria earthquakes. The earthquake lasted just seconds, but it will take years to recover from. It took months for the full impact of the earthquake to become clear, and the figures in next slides bring together a picture of the extensive impact across both Turkey and Syria. Many people remain in camps and temporary accommodation, having endured freezing cold, floods, and an extreme heat water in the year since the disaster. The earthquake epicenter, you can see, it was in Gaziantep, in Turkey. Tectonic geology and seismic of Syria. Syrian tectonic deformation is focused in four major zones. The most extensive and topographical pyramid tectonic zones in Syria is the Palmyrides. That includes the Palmyride Flood and thrustly built and the inverted sub-basins that are now the Bilas and Bishr blocks. The Ifrat fault system and Abdelaziz Sinjar gravens in eastern Syria are large extensional features with a more recent history of compression. In final zone includes the Dead Sea fault system, transform plate boundary that cuts through western Syria and has associated by apart basins, Ghab basins. Here DSF plays an important role in the oversearch seismically in Syria. Seismic zoning in Syria. Studies of seismic hazards and risk assessment, especially for Syria, have been conducted at a limited scale. Here you can see the epicenters of the earthquake. You can see that the more important was in Gaziantep and Haraman Maras. Here you can see shaking intensity from 7.7 earthquake. From weak, light, and strong in this area to extreme in this area. Also, you can see that a lot of places in Syria and in Turkey. So earthquake in Turkey, southern region, also felt in Syria, a little bit in Egypt and Lebanon and northern Cyprian and Iraq. Here you can see that co-seismic islands were in these places. And here is the reported faults. Here you can see before the current earthquake sequence. And here is the compression of PGA of major earthquakes in Turkey from 1992 up to 2023, the last earthquake, which are we speaking about today. Here is some fault rupture. You can see the fault rupture here and here. Also fault rupture, very clear. He is here. The same. Something about, I wrote something about Syrian earthquake designing code, but I think we have no time to discuss about this moment, maybe next time, because I wanted to tell you something about geotechnical outcomes and behavior of geotechnical structures. We will speak about roads, highways, and railways, about returning structures and deep excavations, about hydraulic structure performance, about bridges and tunnels, about historical structures, and building foundation performance. In order to conclude the reasons of these failures. Building damage distribution. In this slide, you can see building damage distribution from high, moderate, and heavy collapse. And in each city in Turkey, how many was these kinds of building damage? Here you can see a performance of geostructures by structure types. That means we had a ground failure 2,490, a building damage 676, and returning structure, gravy wall, abutment, and so on. And this is by damage types. You can see it's very important to make a good conclusion, to know what is the damage type of each failure here. We have lateral spread, liquefaction, sand boils, about a lot of merge, and landslide, slope stability 485, rockfall 474, settlement 1,000, more than 1,000, and the same is fault displacement. No, yes, okay, thank you. I will go quickly. Thank you. This is some roads and highway and railways. I will just show you some pictures, road, highways, and railways. This is assessing the impact of earthquakes on historical structural in Syria and also in Turkey. Here is some damages of historical buildings. This is the behavior of historical structures. This is Iskenderun, St. Pierre Church, and Yeni Moscow, Malatya, Gaziantep, Antakya, St. Paul's Orthodox Church, and Antakya Protestant Church. And also the tunnels and bridges. We had a lot of images in tunnels and bridges. You can see I will not stop because of the requirement of time, just to show you. This is the Deir Zor bridge in Syria. This is the behavior of hydraulic structure, which was the most important and the most dangerous because of we can get a very bad results from this behavior of hydraulic structures. A lot of structures you can see, and behavior of residential buildings, foundations. You can see a lot of buildings, foundation failures. Also, I will not stop to speak about each, just to show you. And I will go directly to the conclusion. Just a little about this slide. Buildings along the river banks and the former lake basins in Antakya, where the soil was lost to saturated silty sand. Here is a fault line, that means it's a inappropriate location selections. You can see this was an agricultural lands in 2009, and in 2023 it was built as shown here, but about 90% of these buildings had damages. And so to conclude, we can say that the earthquake measured 7.8 and 7.6 on Richter scale occurred in February this year, 2023, and both epicenters were located in southern Turkey. They were the strongest earthquake to hit Turkey since 1939. In the 3 months that followed, there were more than 3,000 aftershocks, including 570 in first 24 hours. Here is some information about the area. It was 350,000 square kilometers, which is an area larger than UK and Ireland. Both events affected several cities in Turkey and Syria, with residents for over 20 million. The events caused significant shaking and damage. Here is some information about how many people were killed. A lot of people injured in Turkey and in Syria, and more than 120,000 buildings were collapsed or were heavily damaged. What is the major reasons that caused significant damage? Encouragement of settlement and high-rise building construction in agricultural land and old lake basins, faulty or improper geotechnical structure designs that do not consider local soil condition and seismic codes, lack of quality control during construction, and faulty or improper material and workmanship. Thank you for your attention, and we respectfully remember and pay our condolences to those who lost their lives in the earthquake.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your very information presentation. It's a very actual topic for us, Almaty City, also. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Уважаемые гости, на этом у нас пленарное заседание подходит к концу. Далее у нас по программе идут секционные заседания факультетов, секция факультетов архитектуры, факультета дизайн, секция факультета строительства, секции СМИК и геодезии, кадастр и землеустройство. Коллеги, до 5 часа у вас есть время. обсудить работу секции фестиваля, утвердить протоколы конкурса, провести круглые столы на актуальные темы. Ровно 17:00 всех гостей мы ждем перед главным учебным корпусом на ужин под открытым небом. Будет барбекю. Пожалуйста, уважаемые гости, ровно в 17:00 перед главным учебным корпусом. Хорошо? Сейчас работа фестиваля продолжится в секциях. Спасибо большое всем. Спасибо большое, уважаемые гости, уважаемые спикеры, за информацию. Да. Коллеги предлагают общее фото на память. Можем, в принципе, как раз в центр собраться, немного чуть повыше, и запечатлить этот момент.
Recording stopped.